Hey guys, welcome back to Distill. Today we have a Springbank Cask Strength 12-year. How'd you end up with this one, Matt?
This one came from a random small little sandwich shop.
Sandwich shop.
During COVID in LA that people did not know had a little stock of Springbank. Springbank, over the years, definitely in the US this past year or two, has gotten crazy, cuckoo bananas, bonkers, impossible to find. In the UK, it is like a full lottery, sold out everywhere. And now that's in the US. And now it's impossible to find, but I found this in the shelf. This is from 2017. It was still sitting on the shelf in 2022.
Nice. So we're moving on to Scotch. And this one is from where in Scotland?
This is Campbeltown. I'm kind of excited because this is a personal favorite of mine. I love Campbeltown whiskey. Springbank is really famous because they do it the old school way from beginning to end. It's through and through. This is classic.
Old school classic Scotch.
Malting floors, like malting their own grain.
Wow.
Everything the same. They have changed some stuff to the way they heat the stills and stuff. I don't think it's coal fired anymore, but it's the oldest school, small family owned, not that many people that work there, and they just they do it right, and that's why it has a crazy cult following now, and you can't find it anywhere, but when you can, like this beauty right here.
So maybe 200 years ago or something, someone was drinking something similar.
Pretty similar.
Yeah,
it's very more so than any other whiskey out there.
I'm excited to try this one.
Is there any reason to the popularity? It's just so old. The process is legit OG, and people are like, yeah, you know what?
It's a situation where, yes, it got hyped up by reviews and the word got out, but it's not being overhyped. It lives up to the hype. There's a reason for the hype.
Yeah.
And so it's because it actually backs it up, then even more so it gets chased down. And I don't suspect it's gonna change ever. I mean, they just had an interview with one of the guys who works there, and he said that they could increase capacity many folds over and be making way more booze, but they don't want to because the quality would suffer, and they're all about making it the old way with high quality. And which, whether that's true or not, or if it's a good marketing ploy, that's who knows.
Cool.
But it is what it is.
It definitely fits that bill, though.
Yeah,
definitely.
but it really is, and true kind of artisanal product, and you will taste the uniqueness if you have not tasted it before.
So what kind of nose are we going to be looking for?
Well, this one is batch 15. I think it's about 70% sherry cask, 30% bourbon cask. These are released in batches, usually a few times a year. Actually, this year, rumor has it there's no batch this year, so I don't know if they're kind of just pulling back for a year or trying to build a stock up again.
Gotcha.
Who knows? There's been no disclosure on that, but usually it's 2 to 3 batches a year, and this is batch 15, 2017. But they vary in the ratios. There was a really popular batch this year from the previous year, and it was all bourbon. So you really get, it's not overpowering with the sherry or anything. You really can taste that distillery character, which Springbank and Campbeltown in general, but definitely Springbank is known for it. They call it Springbank Funk.
Okay.
And
I like that.
I love the funk. Give it a whirl and let's see what we got here. This is one of my definitely go-to kind of bottles or drinks.
To ponder.
Yeah, if I'm just, you have to ask me what's one of my favorite bottles or lines, this is definitely top of the list or toward the top of that list.
I'm
You got
curious.
any thoughts about this bottle?
Oh, you would never look at it or know it by looking at it. That's the other thing too.
It's a simple label.
It fits the bill across the board. Nothing crazy about it. No unique bottles.
No frills,
old
no
school,
thrills.
no frills. Right, exactly. Yeah.
Old
Until
school.
you get into it.
Yeah, tell me what you think.
All right, let's smell this thing.
Cheers.
Cheers. Wow.
Out of the gate, that's something different, huh?
That is different.
If you never had it, you might have scotch before, but
Okay, yeah. Immediately you get the funk.
and the 10, the 15,
I don't know what
range.
I don't know what I'm smelling though.
That's right. That's good because you'll learn. And this is why this bottle, or a good bottle like this, you drink the whole bottle over time, over months or years or whatever, and you'll find more and more and more stuff as you go. And sometimes the Springbank is known for a barnyard funk.
Oh,
So
interesting.
you walked into a stable and there's
Yeah.
hay and some animal funkiness, and
Gotcha.
sometimes they get a little sulfury. Definitely is on the side of what they might call like a dirty spirit, where they run they're getting a little more. It's not just like a super tall Glenfiddich still or Glenmorangie where it's really just a light spirit that comes to the top. It's a kind of still where you're getting a lot of stuff pushed through it that's going to get a different character to it. Yeah.
Oh wow! There's peat notes in there.
I'm like in the barn right now. That's what I feel like.
No, I just got some peat notes and
yeah, there's some peat to it for sure. If you want to get geeky with the way you taste it, where if you go nostril, you might get something different. If you open your mouth, if you're while you're sniffing it, you might get something different. When you're drinking it and you smell it while you're sipping it, you might get something different. I learned something cool when I was in Kentucky this past May from Ian from Old Forester. Shout out to Ian. He picked up from a wine guy. He said we're actually, and I think especially with whiskey like this, you'll get it where if you put your nose towards the bottom of the glass versus the top of the glass, it's gonna be different because towards the bottom you'll get the heavier compounds, the heavier volatile chemicals, aromas.
Yeah.
And then when you go toward the top, you get the lighter ones, and you actually can pick a difference out. On a whiskey like this, you will be able to tell. So try, towards the bottom, and then put your nose to the top of the glass and smell.
Oh yeah,
that's totally different.
It's very different.
So there's with good whiskey and you pay good money for this stuff, like you want to learn these geeky tricks sometimes to get the most out of it. You get the most enjoyment.
Yeah, if you wanted something simple, you could go with a whiskey that's going to give you the same thing every time.
Yeah.
Or you can drink a screwdriver.
Yeah.
Get your vodka.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
Time and a place.
I was just gonna say. Yep.
It's interesting. So this one is sherry. I do not get much of that sweet.
There's so much other stuff that kind of blends into it. Give it a sip, you'll.
All right, here goes. Cheers, guys. Cheers.
Now I know you got what I'm talking about with the song in your mouth. This thing is, it's a roller coaster ride. Like, which way is it going to go next? What is that flavor? Whoa, it came back and went this direction. Whoa. Mr. Toad's Wild Ride. And this is the quintessential bottle. I think the 12-year Cask Strength is the one. The 10 is probably one of the best 10s you'll ever find out there. But the 12 Cask Strength, it's just with the proof, the higher proof, has more, alcohol as a solvent or whatever, so there's more solute in it, there's more chemicals, there's more flavors getting hold in there. You got to drop water to this, so it'll hold up. It'll probably open up some more flavors. This is, you can play with it, and you can, like I said, empty glass the next day, 2 days later, it's just, you're going to start pulling, all kinds of stuff.
And how much are we going to end up paying if we are looking for a bottle of this?
It used to be about 100, 2015, 16, something like that. It's then jumped up incrementally over the years. Now we're probably at around 130 if you're lucky. Everything's jumped up though. The 10-year was, 70 or, maybe even a little less than that. And now it's 100. The 15 was 100, 115. Now it's 150, 175. The 18 was under 200. Now it's closer to 300. So they've also priced accordingly. Whether it's them or distributors, I don't know. And the nose and the palate go well together. The things you smell, you then taste after, and the finish also. So it follows all the way through.
Yeah, great mouthfeel.
Look at the color. There's no color, no chill filtering. That color is all natural. Look at the legs. Like when you swirl in the glass, and the way it drips down the legs. Look how thick and oily it is.
Yeah, the complexity of this is off the charts.
I don't think I've ever had a bad batch of the 12 year. They're different. Like some will have all bourbon, some will have. There's a very super sherry one. There's one that I love that people. It's very polarizing. That had some burgundy cask, some port cask, and it's really has some fusel and diesel-y kind of nose to it, and I love it. It was delicious. I bought as many bottles as I could find of it, and some people hate it. It's like their least favorite batch. So it just depends what you like. I love a dirty spirit. It's good.
Yeah, I'm down for this one. The complexity on that. I have. There's a lot of unknowns.
They need to become known.
Yeah, it's sometimes hard when there's so much going on, like identifying the flavors that you're getting. And this is one where, I'm really at a loss at what exactly the tastes are, because it changes like constantly.
Right.
So I was like, as soon as I'm identifying something else is like coming across.
Yeah, it's a good one for sure.
Thanks for sharing this one.
Yeah, and this is one where I would expect the more it opens up over time, and actually sitting, your palate's gonna be different that day, and your mood and the atmosphere, everything, and it'll just be different every time. It's never gonna disappoint.
This is interesting because I keep getting noses of peat, but like when I'm drinking it, like I'm not getting any of that medicinal or like maybe there's like sort of those medicinal flavors, but like it's balanced because I'm getting like sweets and like herbal flavors as well. And yeah,
to me, actually Springbank, the 12 is my favorite, but my general Springbank as a distillery, they make 3 lines. They make Hazelburn, which is supposed to be unpeated, although sometimes maybe they didn't clean the still out enough and there's a little peat in it or something like that. But they make Hazelburn, and it's triple distilled. Springbank, which is mildly peated, double distilled, I believe, and Long Grow, which is a heavily peated one. Long Grow is actually my jam.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not necessarily like a crazy peat guy, but Long Grow I love. And I just noticed that Campbeltown is a peninsula towards Isla, but the peat is completely different than Isla. It's probably closer to even like a highland peat, where it doesn't have those crazy iodine, briny, or like
Brine,
coastal, like the sea kind of notes. It's different. It's good. I like it a lot. It's my jam. Like this is definitely my thing. So Long Grow we'll have to try too. That's my favorite. But sometimes it can get a little sulfury and something like that. It doesn't bother me at all. It adds complexity.
Yeah, I think as long as it's not a single note, if something is just so dominant, then it can just overtake the whole drink, and then that's all you're gonna get.
Yeah, this one.
And this is not even close.
It just sings a song. You take a sip and
Yeah.
you get maybe a little like lemon, like citrus kind of thing, and then it turns into like a vanilla, cherry, sweet kind of thing that turns into a puff of smoke into a funky, weird, barnyardy kind of thing, and then a little oak spice. It just sings this beautiful song, and then every sip you get, every sniff you take, it's going to be a little bit different. It's beautiful, lovely. You can sit. Also think too is you can pour a little bit and you can sit with it all night.
Yeah.
You don't have to drink that much. You can have a thoroughly enjoyable night with minimal alcohol consumption, and it's still a cask strength, so you're gonna feel it. It's just great. It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, that one's pretty amazing.
Lives up to the hype, right?
Yeah. First of all, it's unique. Second, like it hits all the complexity that I'm looking for. You're not just getting a single note. You're getting this evolving flavor profile, and it kind of makes you ponder like what's going on in your mouth. It takes a little bit of presence to be there. Like if you're sitting with friends and you're just chatting and you're not really focused on the drinks, maybe skip this one. But like if you're ready to like kind of be present with whatever you're tasting and try to like analyze that, this is a good one because it rewards that. Yeah, I'm down.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. Is I try to put myself in a place of like where I would be drinking these. That's what I've been doing. I kind of just summer nights or on the beach, or just reading a book, or just sitting and enjoying it. And this is one of those where I'm almost just like I'll do a little bit and a little bit and a little bit, just so I can get a sense of like, okay, it's something different every time. That was very different and unique. But to me, it was almost just like, okay, I kind of want to do a little bit more just to like, okay, am I going to get the same thing or a little different, or just, but I agree with you. You need to be very present with this one,
It demands it.
Yeah. If you really want to get something that is,
the meaning of life.
Well, just to
which we do.
Contemplate this particular thing and what you're tasting and follow wherever it's taking you. I think, it's going to reward you.
It's definitely a journey in itself.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, you got to try. If you haven't tried Springbank, you got to try it. Definitely the 12 year. It's a buy. I wouldn't want to pay $200 or more for it if I can help it. But I mean, if I bought it for $200, I still wouldn't be mad at it. It's still better than $200 bottles you find all the time. But that's how the market is right now. But yeah, I think retail's around 130, 150. It's fair. It was much better. I think I got this for 115 this year.
Yep.
So it was just people didn't know what they had, and they got lucky. Everything's marked up. I think this one actually he marked up to $300 now.
Oh my gosh.
All right, so guys, if you're into something with a bit of complexity, some very interesting notes, maybe a little bit, a hint of peat, definitely got that sherry thing going on, and just something to sit down with and really just focus on your drink. This is a good one.
Yeah, and don't let the peat scare you. The fact that there might be it's not that kind of crazy Lefroy Isla peat thing. It's a totally different thing. It adds complexity. It's not
super
offensive.
balanced. Yeah, this is very approachable.
There's also another example of where you hear whiskey drinkers talk about how like the constraints of the regulations on bourbon and how that might lead to a lack of complexity.
Sure.
And how bourbon basically can never be as complex as scotch, as what some people assert. And I think that's probably true when you taste something like this. Bourbon, I love a good bourbon. I've tried some excellent ones, but you know what notes you're gonna get out of it, and that's your profile. That's great, and you can sing some songs to you and stuff like that, but not to this level of variance. It's just, and maybe that has to do with the constraints of the regulations of being a bourbon, but yeah, they are what they are. They're good.
Yeah.
But this is the complexity and the breadth of flavors and aromas, and just.
Yeah.
I don't think you can get that out of bourbon, unfortunately. Maybe a good rye will get closer, but even then, probably not, because the peat aspect and all these different, the sherry, the peat, the bourbon. There's so many layers upon layers. Like a very fine, course at a nice restaurant with a good chef. It's like, wow, like how they put this thing together. Like
Right. Yeah. Definitely know your setting too. Like making sure you can actually enjoy it and get to know it. It seems to me like that would be the setting.
Like this, perfect.
Yeah. All right, guys. Thanks for joining us on Distilled. Have a good one.
See, it's getting better already.
Yeah. That one far better.